All right. We are up and running and live. Let's get everything switched over to the right overlay. Get the BGM set up, and we're going to jump right in today's session for Vampire Survivors. All right, let's turn music on. Like we've done in the past, we'll be listening to some Castlevania remixes from Goat. Hey, Iconic's here. What's up, Iconic? Welcome to the stream. The Red Dragon has redeemed Small Raku right out the gates. What's up, Red Dragon? Hope you're doing alright today. Let me Ghost Tiny mode. We'll turn the timer on. Let me know if I need to adjust anything with the music. Shouldn't be too loud. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So I have not played this since before the most recent update, which came out last week, I want to say. There was a pretty decent update recently. Didn't change a whole lot in the game. If we look at the unlocks, I still need to unlock this one. I'll worry about that later since it's just a additional reroll. But we've got a maxed out collection. I think we have all the Arcanas that have been released. Are all the numbers here? 6, 7, 8. Yep, 1 through 20. All the weapons, all the unlockable Arcana, all the unlockable power-ups that have been released to date are out. All the power-ups we have unlocked. And you might notice that I currently have 3.2 million gold. And so I've done a bit of grinding. We're going to be experimenting around a little bit today. But first, I want to show off the character that was added in the last update, since it is kind of a game-changing character and a little bit unique. So we'll go ahead and start up a run. The last character, and I think the last character before this game goes into full release mode out of early access, is Queen Sigma. And Queen Sigma is a little bit different from all of the other characters and secret characters that have come out so far. She has a pretty cool design sprite, kind of a royal sword-wielding lady. And she has a unique weapon. It says in her description, she owns everything. If you take a look at the left side, her stats are a bit higher than normal. If we look at an unupgraded character like Trouser, she has considerable health, recovery, armor, movement speed. All of her stats are much higher. She starts with a minus 30% cooldown, 150% area, 80% luck, 50% greed, and interestingly enough, she has a million rerolls, skips, and banishes. Iconic says, Sigma Survivor grind set. Yeah, pretty much. She starts with a bunch of rerolls, skips, and banishes, but she cannot get golden eggs, so her stats can't be upgraded. The rest of the cast, as you grab the golden eggs either through farming or buying them from the merchant, their stats can all get improved infinitely. There's eventually a ceiling, but you can build crazy busted characters, which is kind of the fun part of this game, the grind. But Sigma, she can't be upgraded at all. She's just super powerful right out the gates. But it turns out, at least as of right now, where I am with all the characters in Vampire Survivors, she is the strongest, and right now, my best grinding source. So I want to show that off to everybody, and fortunately, we'll do a quick run, and it'll only be 15 minutes, but I'm going to show you guys how crazy this character is, because even though I haven't gotten Mina, the werewolf, super upgraded, Mina's only got 400 eggs, Sigma outpaces my strongest character as far as grinding. So we're going to take a look at what that looks like and see how bad the bitrate gets, because it's going to be soup, but it should be fun. And once again, we will be trying to get as much gold as possible in the bone zone. And we've got Hyper, Hurry, Arcana, Limit Break, all this is on. And so right away we have a choice of Arcana. Queen Sigma is interesting. She can hold, I think, 7 total, and she gets a bunch right away. So she's kind of like the god character. And we're going to choose Mad Groove to vacuum all the stuff to our location. Oh, yep, timer's done. Thank you, Iconic. We'll put you there. Alright, we'll grab Mad Groove first. And right away you could see Sigma's ground speed is incredibly fast. She really moves. We're gonna go for a specific build that I use for farming. And right away we get a second Arcana. So we'll take the one that procs the gold when we get a bag of money. On level up, I'm gonna banish Garlic. We get another Arcana. We're gonna go Wicked Season. I picked this one up. I think I picked this one up last time. But basically, growth, luck, greed, curse, doubled at fixed intervals. And the character starts getting 1% growth, luck, greed, curse every 2 levels. And she's gonna get a lot of levels. So this is one of the strongest Arcana in the entire game. Okay, I'm gonna keep banishing things out of the pool we don't need. Victory Sword is the name of Sigma's projectile. We want water. Victory Sword, every time it goes off, it slashes at nearby enemies and does kind of a concentrated area of effect damage. And as you upgrade it, the area gets bigger and the projectile gets stronger. Okay, we want Clover. I've done this particular build millions of times. The only thing that could screw up the run is if I accidentally get one of the floor items up here. The ones to evolve the Laurel and the Clock Lancet. Those I want to get very last, once I've filled up my inventory slots with everything else. As you can see Wicked Season going off, the power-up icon that's below the character is the one that's boosted temporarily. And then over time it decays, and then another one goes off. Okay. Clover. See, that's what I'm talking about. Every 2 minutes, the Mad Groove is going to go off and pull everything that I've dropped to my location. So I want to make sure I don't accidentally wander over and hit the floor power-ups. But let's go up to the Merchant Trouser. Because Queen Sigma can't get gold eggs, instead of gold eggs, you get the candy box that you can buy, and this lets you just choose a weapon. Any weapon that's in the game, you can just unlock it for 1,000. So go ahead and grab that. And I'm going to pick up one of the guns, since for some reason the game doesn't like to give me the guns. And that'll just save us some time. The way we're building this character for the sake of farming is speed, damage, and gold. Gold drops, essentially. We do want Tome for cooldown. Sword. Cooldown. Start to see the waves are going to start picking up. Guns. And her stats are going to get pretty bananas over here on the left too as we go. I didn't want to get that yet. I'm going to leave chests on the field till I have things maxed out. I could start evolving weapons. Until I get to that point, I don't really need to pick up any of these chests. Okay, we want mask for gold. We need the orb to evolve the water. Keep pushing levels on the sword. The sword has an evolve that's just by itself. And I think that's why it has 12 levels instead of the regular 8. But now I can see the enemies are mobbing me. But I can essentially stand still if I wanted to. I won't max that out. The enemies aren't going to really be able to do damage yet, but they will as the waves start getting tougher. And because we're on hurry mode, we're already 5 minutes in of 30. We need the other gun, we need the laurel, and the lancet. That's going to be our weapon loadout. And now that we've upgraded the sword, we're getting these vertical slicing projectiles that have a bigger hit range and do more damage. And those should be, they're just auto-targeting. They go off randomly. Alright, there's Laurel. You can banish some things out of the pool, thin it out a little bit. Another thing I can do if I need to complete my inventory with a weapon or power-up is I could burn rerolls, because I have 100 something of them. Okay, guns maxed out. There's the Lancet. Now we just need the Tefello, the other handgun. And we need the Tirigisu and Torrona's box on the lower power-up passives row. Okay, Clover's maxed. We're going to start picking up levels pretty quick. Case in point. And you can see the stats now over on the left have jumped up considerably. Specifically luck, growth, greed, and curse. We're going to see I think Curse, or just the top 3 are going to go up every 2 levels, they said. So stats are going to get pretty bananas. Alright, I'm going to banish Wand. Okay, Mask is maxed. There's Tiramisu. And there's Tefelo. So now the only power-up we're missing is Torona's Box. That's the one that boosts several of the offensive stats. And at level 9, doubles Curse. Which we normally don't want. But in this setup, since we're going for farming, we do want that. Okay, Tiragisu's maxed. How's the bitrate doing on the stream broadcast? There's a lot on screen now, and it's going to get worse. But let me know if it starts seriously lagging, since I haven't played this in a bit. It should be okay. Like you're not really missing much. There's just a lot of enemies on screen. There's Torona's Box. Okay. We have all of the dropped power-ups. And get our next Arcana. I think I'm gonna go, let's see. Could go for Boogaloo of Illusions. This one is area radius changes between minus 25% and plus 25% every 10 seconds. All of a sudden, we'll be doing a lot more area of effect. And it'll change. Other one, Divine Bloodline. This one is also pretty decent too. But for now, we'll go with this one. And we're about 10 minutes in. Oh, there's the Green Reaper. Okay. 4 weapons that are maxed out. This is the limit break system we've seen before. We can choose what to upgrade, or what I found after doing a couple farming runs where I'm gaining levels constantly. If we go random always, it's just going to randomly upgrade one of our items, and this won't pop up every time. So that's what we're going to do. And we'll grab the floor power-ups. I think the Reaper is dead. It's transparent, so I normally can't see it. Yeah, I think it's dead. I have to be a little bit careful until I upgrade the Laurel, because those guardians, the cloaked guardians, can actually do decent damage and kill me if I'm not careful. If I stand still, Sigma does start to take hits, and she gets stuff back as long as the gold bonus is on, but the damage does stack up. So we're gonna keep dancing, and this is where it's gonna start to tank the bitrate, I think, because we're at curse level 220. It's a lot of curse. Okay, now we have another Arcana. We'll take Divine Bloodline. Armor, affects weapon damage for the ones listed in the row here, and reflects damage. From what I've read, this is a pretty good power-up, even though my armor rating is not super high with this character. I could start getting chests, I guess. We have all of our weapons maxed out. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till I have these two upgraded, then I could potentially evolve these in this chest too, rather than waste the chance. Should not take too long, because it's just the gold ring left. Everything's maxed. Now we just need the evolves. Iconic says so many things. Oh, just wait. It's going to get even worse. So we got Firagi. Light beams. Okay, now we got the cloak. So this should mitigate enough damage that I don't have to worry about the guardians. Alright, now we freed up a slot, so we're going to look for cats. Cats help accumulate gold. There they are. Hey, Sourlad's here. What's up, Sourlad? Welcome to the stream. Get ready for 10 frames a second. Okay, there's Corridor. It's a thing that halves enemy HP. And the cat clouds are not going to help the bitrate at all, but once we evolve the cats, then all those clouds are going to go away. Vicious Hunger. Alright. Unusual that we get that one before, but now we just need a level or an evolve on the water. We're currently up to 78,000 gold. Gold bonus has been going for almost 3 minutes, and we've gotten 63,000. So this should go into autopilot mode as soon as I upgrade the water. There it is. And there is an upgrade on the sword. That'll be the very, very last one I'm going to get. I don't know if you'll be able to see what it does, but it'll be useful. So essentially I can take my hands off the keyboard now. Well, how are you folks doing today? How's your Wednesday been going? And you might be asking yourself, at what point does it matter for the run? Nothing is going to kill me in this run now. The point of doing this is to get to a state where it can autopilot and then just stack up money. So a couple times when I've been busy working on other things during the week, I'll start up a run on this zone with this character, get to about 15 minutes, get everything upgraded, and then just put this window somewhere else while I'm working. Alright, can you give me the sword? There it is. Soul Solution. The more enemies defeated, the stronger it grows. So this procs every so often, and it's going to be hard to see, I think. But there's this big galactic swirl you can see going on, And that's Soul Solution going off. You'll see it go off every once in a while, but isn't going to make too much of a difference. The enemy waves are going to continue to get stronger, but the way I've built the character right now is so strong and busted. Nothing is going to happen. And she's still getting levels as well. She's at... Oh, it doesn't tell me. But we'll see it at the end. Oh, it's up at the top right. She's at 158. We have 11 minutes. Sarlad and Iconic say money. Yeah, cash money. And the point of getting the money again is to upgrade all of the rest of the non-busted characters. Eventually to make them stronger than her. That's the goal. I see we got a hydrate. And a stretch. Oh. Iconic says this is some kind of beautiful. I'm looking at the OBS readout and it doesn't look like it's severely lagging, but for you watching the stream today, especially on like a mobile device, is it moving at really low frames per second, or does it just look like there's a bunch of crap on screen? Because I'd be curious. I only ever play this game directly and stream it. I don't usually watch other people playing it. At least not live. Alright, we're about 21 minutes. Our gold total to beat is around 300 something thousand. Again, we've only been doing this for about 15 minutes in total. Starlight said it's normal. Iconic says lots of crap moving. Okay, as long as the actual frame rate doesn't go down where it's, stuttering like it's in stop motion. I think whenever the Soul Solution goes off, Sigma's off the field. She's not there. She can't open chest. She has to wait until it stops, and then she's back on screen again. Yeah, ideally the long-term goal is to build the other characters, maybe not every single one unless I feel like playing this thing for like 1,000 hours, but to build some of my favorites to a point where they're stronger than her. But in order to get there, I need money to buy all the golden eggs. So I figured we could experiment around with that today on stream, because again, I don't want to just do farming runs where the entire screen is soup and I'm not actively playing the game. I can do that on my own time. I just wanted to demo this god character first, since she's new. And after this, we'll pick up somebody else. Look at her stats. Luck, 214%. Growth, 269%. Greed, 184%. Curse, 324%. It's just going to keep going up. Level 171 with 6 minutes to go in the run. Now, I don't know what's on the roadmap for this game next. Like I said, I think they're getting pretty close to being out of early access and having version 1.0 officially released for the game. Right now, it's got enough content to be many multitudes of times worth more than the retail price. It's still $3 USD, and all of the updates and content are part of the release. So anybody could pick this game up and probably get anywhere between 20 and 50 hours out of it, depending on what you do. Just to unlock everything, I'd say probably about 25-ish hours if you're speedrunning, just unlocking everything in the game, and then if you stop. If you actually want to get into building characters and doing the optimization with the gold eggs, it's pretty much infinite. I think you'd probably be playing it longer you probably wouldn't outpace the updates this game is going to get if you wanted to, let's say, max every character. And now we're at 26 and a half. You can't even really see the floor anymore. And you can tell the frame rate is dying because when I pick up a chest, it returns to normal. And then when I go back, it's Sprite soup. Because it is visibly chugging for me now. But OBS does not say that it's dropping frames. It's just the game itself is dropping frames. There's like a stray projectile right here. You can see my cursor just frozen on screen. Okay, 2 minutes left. And these chests offer a pretty trivial amount of gold, but they're the only thing really left to pick up. And for the question mark, I can't remember if I showed this on stream or not. There's a special unique enemy on this field. I wonder if I can actually get down there. It might be impossible to see at this point. We're already at 325k, so I'm pretty happy with the gold this run. Oh, it's over there. But in order to unlock one of the characters, you need to get to that question mark and kill that secret enemy. But is it going to actually spawn? Oh boy, it's really moving. Nah, I can't get there. It's a giant bone ball that rolls around the entire arena and gets progressively more difficult. But we will end the run. Actually, does it despawn? No, it doesn't. I can try and catch up to it now, especially now that the screen is clear. Problem is, it's very fast. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. It's basically a giant Katamari Damacy style ball of skeletons. And I believe it scales with your level. So if you try and kill it at the end of the run, it's pretty much impossible. But now we just need to kill the Reapers. Still getting stray coins here or there. But now we've done that. I'll wait for the White Hand of Death. It's a little bit tough to see, but when Queen Sigma dies, she kind of explodes into light and teleports off screen in a Mega Man style, which is a unique character death sprite. But even she, as busted as she is, cannot escape the cold hand of death. Alright. So looking at our results for the run. We have 31 minutes. Again, this was cut in half, so essentially 15-minute run. 356,000 gold. Reach level 295. Our highest damage weapon was Infinite Corridor again, the thing that halves the enemy HP. That's not surprising. Our weapons and the final upgrades for everything are here. So it looks like the Victory Sword was the highest level, followed by Firagi at 35, then 27 to... second was Vicious Hunger, then the guns, then the cloak, and whatnot. These are all the limit break levels we were getting just in the background. Iconic says that was quite the sight. Yeah, so that's what a regular gold farming run looks like, with what I consider, as of right now, the strongest character I have in my arsenal. And so I've just been here or there doing runs trying to get this total up. But now we can actually take someone we want to upgrade and sink some of these upgrades into. And I do want to build a god tree. This is going to be tougher. I don't know if I've shown Peppino off on stream yet. I think I showed that I unlocked the character, but this one is very difficult to use because of this right here. I don't know if you can see on the broadcast, but the move speed for the tree, as you know, it makes sense, is negative 90%. This thing cannot move. You have to upgrade the wings, essentially, in order to get any sort of movement out of this thing, and then it slowly inches along the screen. But it starts with the Evolved Garlic, the Area of Effect, Soul Eater, and it starts with decent stats overall, just it can't move. And so I want to get enough upgrades rolled onto this thing to where the move speed is normal, and then we basically have a killer tree that moves around the field and can kill things. I think that'd be really funny. Let's see. Trousers also a candidate to work on because he gains 1% greed every level, and that Gold Fever minigame that gets all the coins exploding everywhere lasts longer. And his starting weapon is the candy box, so he can just choose. He can choose what his loadout is. It's kind of similar to Sigma in that regard. So you could start with the sword if you really wanted to. But the fact that his gold level goes up could be good. I just think Sigma starts a lot stronger. And we're up to 400 eggs on Mina. There's no cap on eggs, but I think several thousands usually where you stop seeing significant gains on these stats. But it also depends where they roll. You can have them roll into things you don't want, and then you just have to keep rolling. But it's part of the interesting min-max theory for Vampire Survivors, which I like. Let's see. Could probably spend a couple million. Since now I have a reliable source of income, let's see what we can do with the tree. And I've not successfully finished a run with this character because it can't move. So if we take the tree to the library and then maybe put 2 million worth of upgrades into it and see where they roll. We'll see if that gives us a starting point to be able to beat at least one run with the tree. So let's give it a try. I see Iconic has redeemed a hydrate. And we'll drink more of my smoothie. Okay, we'll take Hurry off. Proceed at normal speed. And let's just see if we can make any progress. Iconic says, is his bark worse than his bite? Heyo, tree puns. Okay, get Mad Groove. We're gonna probably need to go for a build similar to what I was doing before. So I'm gonna attempt to do that. We can banish some things out in the pool we don't need. And you can see the tree barely moves. It can move a little, but not enough that it can avoid enemies. So basically, unupgraded, it's just a matter of time before the enemies do more damage than the Soul Eater itself. And so that's the challenge. But what I'm going to do is get to the merchant. I'm going to buy some eggs, and then we'll see how it changes the parameters and see if it makes it any easier. Alright. So we got 3.6 million. Alright, let's blow some cash. Each one is 10,000. Sitting here just clicking my mouse. Go down to about 1 million. It's too bad you can't set a quantity to buy, and that'd make this a lot faster. I'm seeing a couple things falling into movement. Again, our base movement speed is -90. If we can get that down to, -50 or something close, then it'll probably be functional. But we might not get that lucky. Okay. That was a lot of eggs. Let's see, we didn't drop our speed down at all. Let's do this. I'm going to restart the run. There it is. Okay. I think we have to actually back out in order to see what we did. That was 262 eggs in one shot. Burning the majority of the gold I had saved, but I'll get more. I can get that back pretty easily now that I can farm. So we dropped our movement speed down to -78%. Probably should have taken a screen cap of the base stats. Oh, there we go. You just toggle it on and off. So we stacked up more damage, might, 10% more speed, 10% more area, got more cooldown, more mount, revival, magnet, luck, growth, everything in general went up pretty decent amount. Okay, let's see if that makes it any easier. Oh yeah, I'd say it's not enough to really evade and dance around, but the tree is moving now. So let's see how far we can get in a run. I've seen other people online talking about trying to build a stupid powerful tree just because of the meme. I think it's pretty funny. Iconic says, I wonder how many other games they can say they allow you to be a tree. I don't know. Probably not too many. But this is a secret character. It's not one of the main cast. Kind of a joke character, but the idea of making this one of the most powerful characters in the game, I think, is, again, very funny. And we're going to see real quickly how long it's going to take for the enemy health per wave to outpace the damage. In fact, I'm not going to go for a gold build here. Let's try and optimize. I don't really care too much on how much money I make this round. I'd rather just survive the whole thing. Having water will help. Which base health does this character have? 177? Alright. But what I really need is damage. One of the problems I'm going to run into that we'll see in the run as it goes is the bosses. The bosses are not going to get melted instantly by my Soul Eater field. They're going to walk right through it, and that's the potential for getting me killed. Oh, there's the victory sword. Let's see. We need to save slots for the guns and the lancet. So right now, I don't have space. But maybe we can get the sword later. Kind of wonder if the developer created this character after seeing all of the Vampire Survivors content creators doing the no move challenge. I kind of think that's how the character gimmick came to be, which is pretty funny. A lot of people that have been playing this game for a while were doing challenges of see if you can complete an entire run without moving, which is essentially what this character does. Alright, there's the first boss. And the first boss is not phased by my damage field. And I am dead. And I'm dead again. I have well, there goes the boss. So therein lies the problem with this particular build. It's not necessarily the waves in the beginning. It's the boss. And I have one revival left. If I die one more time, I lose my ability to upgrade the guns. So basically I have to get a bunch of offensive power and or speed before the next boss spawns or I'm done. Armor might not be a bad idea. I will skip. Problem is I'm getting garbage rolls. Everything I've got on me is upgraded already. Here's Torona's box. First gun. Lancet would be good too. If a boss spawns, you can essentially freeze the boss and buy some time to do damage. That might be the play with this character, is to go for Lancet early on. Just have a means to survive. Okay, wings. Wings are also good. Not a power-up I normally pick, but with this character, anything for speed will take. Now we have a moderate level of movement. I don't think it's going to be enough to survive a boss. We'll see. There's another one. Okay, we're a little bit faster than the slower ones. Okay, that's good. That puts us in a better spot. Okay. We're looking for DeFellow, the other handgun. Yeah, now we can sort of dance a bit. We max out the tree. And we max out wings for the tree. Hey, Apathetic Potato's here. What's up, Potato? Potato asks, are you the tree? I am indeed the tree. We're trying to see if we can build a uber powerful tree character. And now that I can move, then our chances are much better. We just had to burn like 3 revives in order to get to this point. Potato says, I have not gotten Tree yet. Tree's a secret character. You can get this character once you unlock Ilmalis, the garden that just has a bunch of plants that spawn. Once you have that stage open, you have to go in there with something that can heal. I think you just have to heal the plants for a certain amount of time, and then you get the tree. And this character starts with negative 90% movement, so it can't move normally. I just happened to power up its speed with the wings. And it starts with the Soul Eater. Oh boy, those Banshees are trouble. Iconic says, the Tree of Might he be. Potentially. For all you Dragon Ball Z fans. The real problem is damage. I need to upgrade my weapons. Okay, Lancet's almost maxed out. See, Iconic is a fan of Turles. We are not going to need Skull. That would make things considerably more difficult. Let's see. We have options. I guess I can go spinach. Just it's gonna be flat damage increase. That'll work. Maybe we get this in the box and then just not max out the box to get the curse power up. Tato says, I denounced my belief in Santa Claus because of Turles. I remember the DBZA Christmas special. Okay, max out spinach. Still trying to get the other handgun. Skip. And we'll skip again. Banish Hollow Hearts. I'm saving my rerolls for the Arcanas in case I don't get the one I want. Banish Spellbinder. It's my last banish. Man, I'm struggling to get that second gun. It's just wasting my levels. Alright, we'll pull Clover. Try and save the last slot for Torona's box. There it is, finally. Okay, there's box. Now we can grab the free power-ups. Mask. Book. And I'm going to wait on the last four for now. Until I can get cooldown and some damage. Try and upgrade the guns first. As soon as I touch those free power-ups, the Guardians are going to appear. I'm pretty sure I can't outrun those. They're just going to kill me. Let's try and get some weapon evolves first and see if that helps. Specifically, if we can upgrade the water and the guns, that might be enough. See, I can also try and freeze the Guardians as well. Where's the boss? Mini boss, rather. That one should have the next Arcana. Nope, that does get us the Evolve one for Labora, so that works. That one should be Arcana. There it is. Alright, let's see what we can do. Duration? Oh. Jail of Crystal? Yeah. Wicked Season. Yeah. This is gonna be a slightly double-edged sword because it's gonna up Curse. Oh, did I burn all my banishes? I should have saved one. Yep, alright, well. That's gonna make things challenging when the Toronto's box gets maxed out. Alright. Let's see if we have enough firepower to stop the Guardians. I think they're starting HP scales with level 2, I think. The longer I wait, the tougher they're going to be. Oh, nope. I can outrun them. Basically, my only real solution is to freeze them and kill them as soon as possible. I keep missing. Okay. That's not too bad. I think Curse might have been... Double Curse might have been on. That's why they're so quick. Alright. I need to take them out before it comes back like that. Alright. There's 2. There's 1 left. Come on, get out of here. Oh, this must have been the last one I summoned. There we go. Okay. Alright, can relax for a little bit. Try and get the rest of these upgrades. Two more levels on the box. I think the kill zones from the water are going to actually be what's keeping the enemies off me for now. That combined with Soul Eater should be decent damage. I'm out of revives, right? Yep. I should have evolved the guns first. So now I can't evolve the guns. Well, that's no good, but everything else should be fine. It really is going to become a don't move challenge now. Iconic says it's fine. I will see. I was kind of hoping I could free up that slot with the guns to get another weapon. That's not going to happen. We'll upgrade this to 9. It's going to up Curse, but should give us more targets. Potato says, you got this gold star. Hopefully. At 15 minutes, it's only going to get harder. This is that's what she said. Yep, you got me. Potato said, go ahead and time me out for that. Nah, if I walk into it, that's what she said, then that's fair. You only get timed out for D's nuts jokes. Okay, we'll turn this on random. I might be able to get one of the Arcana that synergizes with the unupgraded guns. That might save us. Everything else done? Alright. Iconic says a tree spewing flames is so funny. Yeah, that's why I think it's amusing to try and build a really strong version of this character, just because, again, it's a tree. Having a tree that just murders everything, I think, is really funny. Okay, there's the cloak, so that's damage mitigation. That'll help. With that, we've upgraded all of our gear, so now I just don't have to move. Teo says, "Oh yeah, these nuts jokes ain't for me, as I have a friend plays D&D, one who makes one every time we say dragon or goblin." Yeah. See, you folks have spoiled these nuts jokes because I hang out on Wazi's streams every once in a while, so I hear all the ones you get her on, and so I think they're filed back in the memory banks. Someone hasn't got me in a bit, but I don't know them all. Alright, looks like all the enemies are running right into the border of the Labora and Soul Eater shield, but oh, alright. Witches are getting through. It's a little bit concerning. But we are getting levels pretty quick. Thanks to Wicked Season, that ups our stats every 2 levels. Our luck, growth, greed, and subsequently curse are pretty high. I think curse is going up. Maybe that one's stuck. Oh no, yeah, it's going up. Just a matter of whether or not our offense is gonna outpace the enemy. So far it's doing okay. When the curse, the 50% curse goes up, then the enemies get super fast. That's probably the only real time I'm in danger here. Like so. They get close, but they don't get all the way in. And then when it wears off, then they kind of get repelled a little bit further. This is still not as nuts as the Bone Zone we did on the previous run. That I don't think I can complete until I have this character pretty high in upgrades. The enemies there are much faster. Okay, 18 minutes. Three more minutes and we get our final Arcana. I think we're okay. We'll see. I have a feeling in the last 10, the waves are going to get pretty challenging. And we'll see what we do after this run. Maybe we can take one of the other characters, or we could even try and take the tree onto a different map. It's not going to be any easier, but we could try and see how we fare on one of the other maps against different enemy types. Don't think about it. Or maybe I can have you folks choose. Maybe you can choose who I play next. Okay, level 191. Thanks to that Wicked Season Arcana, overall runs, total levels are much higher. That is interesting. And I see Iconic is redeemed a Hydrate. Well, that's what I can do. Clear out my redeems. Something I do like once a week. And I'm just gonna keep an eye on this, make sure I'm not snoozing. Not that there's much I can do, but it'd be a shame if one stray boss or something gets in and then kills me. It is minute 20. That boss is a little dangerous. Keeping out for 21 minutes, then we will grab our final Arcana. Iconic says, make like a tree and drink water. That's right. It is incredibly warm today. I will definitely drink water. It's supposed to be warm the rest of the week. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, 21 minutes. There should be a boss spawning. It's going to give us our Arcana drop. How are stats looking? Curse 308%. That's pretty high. Luck, growth, greed, curse. Still keeping the enemies out. I want to jinx it, but we're still looking alright. Oh, there's the boss down there. I think that's our Arcana. Yep. Alright. So we could do Gemini, although that's only going to affect the guns. Projectiles have a chance to freeze enemies. Projectiles gain bounces up to 3, might pass their enemies in walls. Iron Blue will. Okay, I'm going to get this, and we'll see how it works for the bullets. Now they're going to start ricocheting everywhere. It's going to make the whole screen even more chaotic. Well, it's even worse if I move. Sprites overlap if I'm staying still. I think they're actually bouncing off of the waves of enemies. Ooh, oh boy, that's close. Which wave? level 230. Nope. Yeah, that's a little bit close. Close, but still pretty manageable. Seven minutes. I'm gonna keep an eye on this. Make sure we're not in any immediate danger. But I think we'll be all right, at least till the last 5 minutes. I think the last 5 minutes is gonna get a little bit difficult. There's another boss that spawns at 25, that kind of witch-looking boss. That, I believe, is the last major threat. We'll find out. Haven't done this map in a bit. So while we're ticking down the last part of the run, I did want to shout out for upcoming events, for those who might not have been keeping track. I'm sure Wazzy has mentioned it, but Extra Life is going to be starting soon. So I believe next week is the weekend of the actual event. So keep your eyes peeled for the start of the charity events and streams. That should be a fun time. Make sure you pop in and show your support for a good cause. I think there's going to be some good prizes this year. I haven't looked at it too closely. I will be hanging around the streams when I can. If I'm around that weekend specifically. I might not be participating in content, but I should be hanging out on the streams and watching the insanity. That's right, Potato. Cancer blows. And again, for a good cause to help out the Children's Hospital. So donate if you can. If you can't, just hang out and spread the word around, and then that's just as good. I know I was talking to Wazzy about it earlier, and I think she's a little bit nervous about the event. I told her she has nothing to worry about from the community side. I know the crew will definitely be there to support and make it a success, just like they have every year. Alright, there's the boss. 25 minutes. Gonna get frozen? Nope. Just gonna get melted. Alright. Potato says, I'll be around when I can get around. Possible hundreds from me, maybe. Who knows? Yep, it's just a matter of donating whenever you can. Iconic says, Wazzy will do fine for sure. Yeah, that's what I keep telling her. But I know she worries. She's been doing the majority of the logistics planning, and Matt's going to be doing the tech before the actual event itself. But I think they're mostly set up and good to go now. Potato says, donating only in rolls of quarters. For the kids and a good cause, but you know, quarters. Hey, quarters are useful. At least it's not pennies. Alright. 4 minutes left. Now it's going to get pretty dense. I gotta actually pay attention. Red Dragon's heading out. Alright. Have a good evening, night, Red Dragon. Thanks for stopping by. I will catch you later. Potato says, it's like when I go to the strip club. Throwing singles? Nah, fam. See how fast you can get kicked out? Oh, yeah, because I'm sure the strippers really appreciate rolls of quarters getting hurled at them. Uh-oh. Okay. Now they're actually getting through. Sure would be disappointing to get killed in the last few minutes. Theo says, listen, someone throws $5 in a roll of quarters at my forehead at top speed, 10 miles per hour, I'll gladly take that money. As long as it doesn't knock your teeth out, man. That's what I'd be worried about, or getting a black eye. Sarlat says, Thunder Jenga. Oh, that's right. I had to think for a second what you're talking about. Because I forgot that was the name of the game. There will be suffering, and I don't know if Wazzy's really talked much about guests, so I don't want to potentially spoil anything for what she's planning, but there may be some people from the community that you know well attending Extra Life and suffering for your amusement. Tato says, "Does sue for assault?" Yes, Your Honor. I was at an entertainer's gig, and the defendant pelted me in the face with a roll of quarters, breaking my nose. Do you think they have on-the-job coverage for injuries in a profession like that? Like L&I, the equivalent of L&I? Potato says it depends. Yeah, what does the union have to say about that? Is there a strippers union? Sarlat said, I think she pretty much told us everyone who's joining. Oh yeah? Did she tell you that they're going to be there in person? I don't think that's a secret, but again, I have not talked to Wazzy, so about that. Because I know the blocks of content, I believe, are planned and posted. But as far as from who's physically going to be there. Taylor says, I know a stripper who gets full health insurance from her job and makes about 10 times as much as me. But I'm not salty. Well, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not a legitimate profession, man. If it pays the bills, it pays the bills. It beats selling drugs. Iconic says, well, you can't get tasers through the internet, right? Not yet. For next year's Extra Life, everyone who attends Wazzy's stream virtually has to buy a Team Toxicure taser to mount on their desk. And then whenever she hits a button, you get shocked at your desk. Oh boy. Okay, I think we're good. A little bit sketchy towards the end. Say this is maybe someone manages to overload your PC. Call it interactive entertainment. Sarlat said, there's probably a 9-year-old YouTuber that makes 20 times more than that stripper, so don't feel too bad. Yeah, if you really want to put it in perspective as far as people generating income, just look at some people and the money they make on OnlyFans. It is fascinating from a business perspective what people can make from stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, if you have an audience and they're willing to pay for stuff, then do it. All right, we barely made it through that. One stray KO and our tree would have been very much dead. Potato says, Team Toxicure, copyright brand 9000 volt taser. It's not a taser. It's actually a mat that you have to put on your gaming chair and you have to sit on it. And then every time the content creator sends a signal through the internet, then it shocks you in the butt. Only $99.99. All right, that would have gone better if I had upgraded my guns, I think. But the real problem is in the beginning when you're so slow and you can't outmaneuver everything. But we did it. The tree will continue to be a work in progress, I think. 271 eggs. Is that the second highest? I think it is the second highest. Data says, that would be a terrible idea to let Wazzy control that. Should wait until you were nice and comfortable and zap you. Yeah, I think that's kind of the point. Okay, let's see. I'm just taking a look at the rest of the cast. Data says at any time. Yeah, when you least expect it. Or just have it tied to Twitter post activity. So it doesn't need to be on stream. Just anytime a person tweets, then it sends a signal and it just shocks you. That's a great idea. Alright, let's do this. I'm going to leave the screen here. And I'm going to let you folks give me some suggestions of who you want me to play as next, and we'll go to a different map. And if everyone votes for somebody different, because I'm going to give you a choice anyone you can see on the screen here. I'll pick one, and then I think we should have time for a couple runs, so we can do more than one. But I'm going to run to the little Raku's room and fry some chicken real quick. I'll let you folks debate amongst yourself who you want to see next on the next run. So I'm going to go mute this for safety purposes. And I'll be back in 1 sec. Alright, I have returned. While I was out of my chair, I went and mixed up a thing of Fuel because it's colder than my water bottle. Okay, so what did we decide? I see Potato mention Garlic Man is pretty poggers. Poe? I have not played as Poe in a while. I don't like the garlic weapon personally. I think its effectiveness dies off real quick. But the 20%, 25% pickup is decent. Poe's a bit of a glass cannon though. He tends to get folded pretty easy. But we can give him a try. If anybody else has another choice, we could do that next. Oh, let's see. We'll take Poe. We haven't done Forest in a while. Or we could try Moonglow. This is a 15-minute map. But this is the one that has everything. All the passives on at once. We could do that. We'll do that. That'll be a little bit of a change of pace from the other maps we've done so far. A mad dash to try and upgrade our weapon loadout before the effectiveness of the garlic tapers off. Let's see. I haven't done Rune Tracer in a bit. We'll switch up our build. Cherry Bomb. We'll keep going. Let's even get the sword. If I can get the victory sword, that'll definitely help. Iconic says, welcome back. I went to the bathroom too. You don't have to wait till I go to the bathroom. You can do whatever you want. I will not have people compromising their bladders just because of me. Alright, we need armor. Potato says, be a real gamer. Bottles of Gatorade in a bucket. Yeah, that's right. You're not a true gamer if you're not strapped to your workstation. I honestly don't know how people do it. I am old, thus I don't know if I could ever do like a 24-hour stream, because if I'm staring at a screen for hours on end, which I normally have to do for work, eventually I have to get up and physically leave, otherwise my eyeballs will fall out. Potato says those people are freaks. I'd like to try doing a 24-hour stream. I just think it would kill me. It would either kill me, or the recovery time after would cause me to lose like 2 whole days combined, which I can't really afford to do. I don't know. On the 100 follower celebration thing I put on Twitter, I did put Minecraft Endurance stream on there. I don't know if it'd be 24 hours, but it would be as as long as possible before I have to physically stop. Which reminds me, for those people here who might not have seen that, if they don't follow me on Twitter, if you want to vote on what we're doing in 100 followers, feel free to go to Twitter and vote. That poll's open for several more days. Tato says, how many times do we need to teach you this lesson, old man? As many times as necessary. I know it's a quote for something, but it is not coming to me immediately. Is that a fighting game quote? I feel like it's a fighting game quote. Oh, it occurred to me that I could just grab all of the passives. See, this is Square Bob Sponge Pants. Ah. I'm not going to get SpongeBob references. I think the problem is that I was never into SpongeBob because I was too old when it was popular. Tata says, good, terrible show starting from like 2013. Oh, I guess we're going to continue to boost garlic. Iconic says, got to go. Thanks for the chill stream as always. Best of luck surviving them vampires. Alright, Iconic. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out. As always, it's a pleasure having you come and vibe with us. I hope you have a good rest of your evening. And I will catch you in the next one. I'll do my best to survive. Okay, max out garlic. Picking up all of the passives, I've essentially made it almost impossible that I'm going to get weapon pulls now, but that's okay. Tato says, there's a theory that SpongeBob and Patrick got dumber after the first movie when they died. I see further up, SpongeBob. Starlad said SpongeBob got worse and worse after season 5. I do know some people that are diehard SpongeBob fans that swear by, you know, every season of the show forever. Now, I've seen the SpongeBob anime. With that fan-created project. That was really cool. But I have no idea how canonically accurate it is, because I know nothing about the show itself. Okay, 5.5 minutes. Again, this is a 15-minute map. We need to continue to build our offensive power. We could get Pentagram. Actually, no, I need to save a slot for the other gun and for the sword. Alright, Banishing Wings. And we'll see if I level up enough. Sarlat said there's 3 eras of SpongeBob: Classic, Yellow, and 4K. Which is seen as the best and the worst? Is Classic considered the best? Ooh, there's Laurel. We'll go Laurel now, and then we'll get Sword if we can get the other gun. Tato says, Classic was simple for the kids. Yellow was between writers. 4K is Zoomer. They're not actively still making SpongeBob, are they? Is it done? Or are they still making current iterations of the show? It tells you how closely I follow stuff like this. Teo says, there is a spin-off called Camp Coral, something like that. I have heard of Camp Coral. I just know it by name. I know nothing about it. Sarlat said, Classic SpongeBob had best intentions. Yellow was just mean to Squidward. 4K was 12 brain cells. Alright. In all fairness, I have seen one episode that I know from SpongeBob. And it was one that I did think was funny. Everything else I really am indifferent to. And the one episode I've seen was the Man Ray episode. I thought that one actually had some pretty funny jokes in it. I have no idea what era of SpongeBob that is. One of you folks that knows the show could probably tell me which of the 3 eras that falls into, but I have seen that episode. I was like, okay, that's actually pretty funny. But other than that, I know very little about SpongeBob. Okay, now it's getting harder to kill enemies. But Rune Tracer's got knockback. That's useful. Zato says, Kevin the Sea Pickle was pinnacle of hilarity as a teenager, and that most of the mermaid villain arcs were early seasons. I'm gonna assume the episode I was talking about is an early season one then. Okay, almost 9 minutes. We actually have Evolves. I think Evolves still kick in after 11 minutes. I actually don't know that on this map. Potato says, it's been over a decade since I've seen any episodes. The show has been around for a while. Has it been 20 years yet? Is SpongeBob old enough to drink? Maybe I don't want to know the answer to that. Potato says he is 1999. Sarlat confirming. That's pretty old. Like me personally, I'm a big fan of animation. You'll hear me talk about it every once in a while as far as content I've consumed. But I think SpongeBob was just after my time. I couldn't really get into it. But I understand it's popular. There's nothing wrong with that. Ah, there's the sword. And Crabbrave. David says SpongeBob in reality is like early 30s starting out. Sorry, that's at 13 seasons and then renewed for a 14th. I see. Alright, we will upgrade Lancet next. And these crabs are tanky. Data says they need to let the sea sponge rest and end the suffering. Well, I think we can all agree that when it comes to people beating a dead horse and zombifying a property, nothing comes close to The Simpsons. SpongeBob might be somewhat close, but it was always supposed to be like a kid's show. Simpsons had more all ages appeal, and I can't tell you the last time I watched a current episode of The Simpsons. They just need to kill the show so we can all celebrate how good it was for a certain amount of time. Like at this point, they're just going for the record. The cast is just collecting paychecks. And they've done all the jokes they can do. Like South Park said it best. The Simpsons already did it. And I was a big fan of early Simpsons. Well, that definitely did a lot to influence my sense of humor, but now it's just a shell of what it was before. Sarlat said Simpsons was about family to town to dead horse. I think, was it season 9? I can't remember. The Super Eye Patch Wolf has a really good synopsis of where the Simpsons sort of changed because it has to do with the writing staff and a transition. But early Simpsons was very character and story focused, and then it was all about satire and, you know, parody and being edgy and poking fun at mainstream culture. And then at some point the emphasis switched to, you know, basically just pasting in celebrity cameos and kind of glorifying the mainstream culture the show originally was meant to lampoon. Data says, when are we going to get a spin-off for Joe? Wait, I'm thinking Family Guy. Yeah, Family Guy's another show which is still going, I think. I haven't watched or been entertained by Family Guy in forever. I think they know exactly what they're doing with that show. I don't really find it that interesting. Alright. You get Soul Eater? Okay, no future. That works. It says Fox, they love their celebrities. It was funnier in the Simpsons specifically, right? We're talking about Simpsons. It was funnier when they worked the celebrities into characters on the show rather than, hey, here's so-and-so famous person, and they have a couple lines, and then the whole joke is that they're a celebrity. I liked it better when they played characters, and it was a lot more focused around, again, story. But fortunately, we still have the funny era of The Simpsons to think about. It's always going to be there. Tato says, South Park is good with celebrities, like Tom Cruise not wanting to come out of the closet. South Park, I have not watched in a while, but that is one of my favorite shows. and I just haven't had time to watch anything 'cause I don't have cable, so I have to watch it online. But South Park has always been topical in the fact that they make their episodes pretty quickly so they can make fun of things that are happening in the real world. And I do like how they're pretty brutal in their satire and criticism, and they haven't really lost their edge. When I have managed to catch an episode more recently, it's still as biting and relevant as ever, which is great. Sarlat said Homer's Enemy. That's a really good episode of The Simpsons, as an incredibly dark episode with Frank Grimes. That's early Simpsons too, but yeah, that's a good one. Ooh. Okay, well we're gonna make it to the end. This won't be the most optimized run, but we should get to the end fine. Tato says South Park started out as paper cutouts. Yeah, the whole production and budget was very kind of simple. All right, fine, we'll get these last ones. Why not? I think when the creators originally started out, it was pretty much like a bare bones concept, and more about the idea of establishing the humor and jokes as opposed to high production. But since then, they've obviously been able to build out a lot more, and complexity, and it still keeps the same aesthetic, which is what I think is interesting about South Park. Silas said, at least he died before he was milked to death. Oh, in regards to Homer's Enemy, the character was only there for one episode before, unfortunately, he met his demise, but still a pretty kind of poignant character and very memorable. I know a lot of people look fondly on that episode just because of how different in tone it was, and really relatable too. The whole idea that you can work your entire life and try and be the best you can be, but in the end, if life is going to dump on you, it's going to dump on you. Not to get philosophical. Theo says that moment on South Park where they had to blur the Prophet Muhammad. Oh yeah, I remember that. They are not without their controversies. That Scientology episode's hilarious, though. I think one of my favorite South Park episodes from like the mid seasons is Make Love Not Warcraft, where they had the Warcraft machinima engine there, and a lot of the stuff was in game. That episode is so funny. Like, I never played WoW, but the depiction of a WoW group playing was so accurate. It was hilarious. Taylor says the Kanye episode. Oh yeah, the fish sticks. That's also a good one. I also really like Casa Bonita. That's a good one. Awesomeo. Well, that's a really good one. There's a lot of classic South Park. I could talk about that show endlessly, and I haven't seen like the last 5 or 6 years of it. I've just been out of the loop. So at some point, I got to go binge it. All right. Let's see if we can get KOs on these. Guardians. Since we... Actually, I don't think I'm going to be able to. I'll just let them kill me. So that's the South Park game, Stick of Truth. I haven't played that, but I heard it was good. And they had 2 of them, right? And they had Stick of Truth, and then the other one was the Fractured Butthole. Yeah, I haven't played either of them, but I've heard they're good. Taylor says, I played Stick of Truth, got close to the end, turns out there's no autosave. Ah. That would do it. Alright, so we managed to clear it with Poe. got to level 70, which is, levels are going to be low on that map just because it's only 15 minutes. Not bad. Starlight said, Eric calling out players for cheating the number lock. Oh, so the game has like an in-game response if you try and cheat. That's kind of funny. That sounds like something they would do. Well, let's see. We need to get this dude to level 100 just to unlock the final achievement of the game that's available now. I'm just gonna do that. That way it's not hanging over my head. We'll go to the forest. We'll keep hurry mode off. This fella, the dapper Ambrojo, his weapon throws random garbage at people, which is kind of funny. Furniture. Ooh, the victory sword. As you level up that weapon, the things that it tosses at people changes. It's all assets from the game, which I think is a really funny idea. Okay, we've got Clover, Skull, Heart, Pomerola on the map. So now I gotta think of how I'm gonna build this guy. We can try and switch up the build. I won't go for guns this time. Instead, maybe I'll go for Lightning Ring. Okay, Tome. Jada says, shoot a couch out of a cannon, it's a slug. Shoot a bookcase loaded with books out of a cannon. Book. Great shot. Is that a quote from Something Potato? This is absolutely not. Okay. I was going to say, that sounds like something Mitch Hedberg would say. If any of you folks have ever heard stand-up comedy from the late great genius Mitch Hedberg, that sounds like one of his jokes. And if you've never seen any jokes or any material from Mitch Hedberg, you should look him up and watch him because that dude's hilarious. It's one of the most unique forms of comedic delivery because it's not so much story or character based. It's almost like a guy who's super stoned just making observations about the world, but the observations are really funny. It's kind of hard to describe. But he's a good comedian. Shame he died. Alright. Keep boosting Laraba. That's the assault with furniture. Defense. We could go Bible. I haven't done that in a while. Potato says, I have strange ideas like a burrito cannon. Like a burrito that shoots things like a cannon, or a cannon that shoots burritos? Because I feel like those are two very different inventions, but could serve two very different purposes. Like a t-shirt cannon, but for firing burritos. Alright. You know what? Assuming you could find a way to make the burritos not explode on impact. Or are you talking about something that shoots like fully wrapped burritos, like as a transportation mechanism? Because there really is no point to firing like an unwrapped burrito. But if you wanted to use it as a delivery system, then it could fire fully wrapped burritos. Then I think you have a more viable invention, like a t-shirt cannon. Because realistically, nobody's going to want an unwrapped burrito fired at them. But if you're up in a stadium and someone wants a burrito fired at them that's wrapped that they can catch, that's a lot more practical. Alright, we need the Spellbinder. And we need Spellbinder and the Orb for our current weapon loadout. And we got furniture everywhere. Potato says, just going to get an M1 bazooka from World War II, put a powder charge behind a fully wrapped burrito and hope to God it just doesn't splat an impact or burn in the tube. I have plans, they are dumb. Well, like I said, it just depends on what your intention is. If the point is to use a burrito as just a projectile with no intention of it arriving intact, you can do that. If the point is to use it like a delivery system, then you'll want to find a way to keep that from happening. I almost feel like a burrito catapult would be a better way to do that, because it's less likely to have ballistic force that's going to splatter it. It's just going to launch. Data says, burrito cannons shoot down the Amazon drones. Well, Jeff Bezos is really not going to like that. And now you're making me hungry. I was already thinking about going and ordering some Mexican for dinner. Now you're pretty much going to make me seal the deal on that. Ah, there's a Spellbinder. Data says, what is this, the year 1492? Or a burrito fired from a howitzer? Unless you're belt feeding the burritos, then that's gonna be challenging. We'll skip. We're keeping our eyes peeled for Laurel and Lancet. We'll go with those two since they're pretty good as a pair. This is a belt-fed howitzer. I was thinking of a chain, like a Gatling gun. Either way, rapid fire burritos. Novel idea, but potentially a waste of burritos. Okay, we're at level 29. I feel like we need to push sword damage. So we are not doing a ton of damage to these things. All the furniture flying all over the place is pretty funny, but it is not highly damaging. Because it's hitting single targets and bouncing. It's not splash damage. No, there's Laurel. Data says M20 firing taquitos. Sorry, lad says add a parachute. We could also not use food as ballistic projectiles and just eat it. I gotta think of what I'm gonna potentially order for dinner. There's a joint nearby where I live, just down the street, in fact, that is a family-owned Mexican restaurant, and they do really good street tacos. And I haven't had street tacos in a hot minute, so I might order some street tacos and taquitos. Data says, delivery system service. I shoot food at your face. So basically, a food version of the makeup shotgun that Homer invented is what you're describing, Potato. Which, I applaud the concept, but your execution is going to be a challenge. Alright, we'll grab Gerona's box. That's a damage boost. This is exactly, you get it. It's been 3 years since I've thought of it. I have a functioning prototype. I see. Well, good luck with your testing and your subsequent pitches to investment companies. If you can perfect it, then you might put services like Uber Eats and DoorDash out of business. This is functioning as it's a potato cannon attached to an air compressor. I was going to say, is it basically a potato cannon hooked up to some sort of high pressure source? And looks like I was right. Sorry, listen, I just want to make a ball of bread, cut in half, hollow it out, and add burger stuff inside to make a burger ball. You could do that. You could do that with like a pastry dough. What you could do, I think the best way to do something like that, Sour Lad, would be to cook the burger stuff in advance. So you have like the patties and everything cooked, and then you layer them with cheese or whatever else you're going to put in your burger. And then rather than use buns, use like a biscuit dough and wrap the whole thing in biscuit dough and then bake it. So you'd have one big biscuit wrapped burger ball, and then when you cut it in half, you just eat it like a burger. And all the filling and everything's on the inside. It would be much tougher to do that with uncooked patties. The likelihood that's going to cook unevenly and potentially give you food poisoning is high. But if you have the burgers done and you're just basically baking the filling or the casing around it, that should be pretty easy. Data says, if I can find a way to basically fire fully intact food through artillery, I'll be an accomplished engineer. Yeah. Again, to me, unless you're wrapping the food, the explosive force is going to splatter before it even comes out. The only other thing I could think is if you have it spring-loaded and more like a launcher than a firing mechanism. There says, how are we going into business together? Burger Ball Bites. There says, a burger version of mini pizza bagels. Yeah. You can do all sorts of things with the right amount of creativity and ingredients, I suppose. Data says, Burger Ball Bites with the option of a 12-inch diameter burger ball will be launched out of a large cannon. 12-inch diameter, that's a pretty big burger ball, but you might have the same problem of the ballistic force just exploding it unless you encapsulate it in some sort of wrapping or container. Then you just get a shotgun effect, spraying burger meats everywhere, which I don't know if that's necessarily your intention. And all this talk of food is making me hungry. Alright, there's Lancet, the last weapon. Okay, get a few more levels and we'll try to start getting the evolves. I want Vespers. Vespers and Labora. Tato says, oh yeah, putting just food in the cannon isn't sanitary. Don't forget to grease the cannon. I think our damage output's a little bit low. I haven't done this map in quite a bit, so I don't remember what all the enemy waves look like. But now we got werewolves. Okay. Try and level the water to max before I start collecting chests to try and evolve things. Jaya says, getting all the food out is easy. Getting it out together is difficult. Right on target is near impossible. Yeah. You also have to think of how the food's going to be received. Are you going to just have people stand at the other end of a course and hold their hands out or open their mouths or what? And then you got to convince people to be fired at with a ballistic weapon and food. I think the marketing might be a bit of a challenge for something like that. Okay, we need 2 passive power-ups to collect. Maybe we'll do Bracer and Crown. Because faster projectiles means our crazy furniture will be zooming all over the place at a higher rate. There's more damage potential. Okay, we got water. That should be good enough. Let's see if we can get some evolves now. Data says the range of the Fuditzer patent pending should have a range of several miles. There you go. You've thus defeated the on-site food delivery like DoorDash, Postmates, or Uber Eats. Now, how you're going to get that to be accurately targeted so it shows up where it needs to, well, I hope you're good at physics. Okay, I can pick up our free items now. One of these has got to give me an evolve. Well, I want Wicked Season. There it is. Data says it's not rocket science. Side note, study rocket science. Yeah, very least physics or geometry. You have to be able to accurately predict the path of your ballistic delivery device. Or just find a way to create like an orbital cannon launcher that can pinpoint things from space. It'll be more expensive. You might have to get buy-in from people like Elon Musk. But if you want to be able to deliver your food to any pinpoint location on the planet, shoot it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. Woo! Alright. It's a lot of enemies. Oh, Guardian's down, that's good. Zarlat says food-based shooting range, where you're the target. Okay, I think Vespers will be keeping enemies out for now, but I'm definitely going to need to finish upgrading the rest of my weapons, or when Curse kicks in like that, they're going to get right through. Theo says, weight times mass. I have the formula for ranging easy. Alright. I trust you. I probably won't be part of your beta testing, but once your product has been refined and has a less than 10% death rate, then I'd be willing to give it a try. I do like food, but I don't like leaving the house. So it says, if a 1 pound burrito is fired from a cannon at 47.5 degrees, it should go at an arc at a speed of 275 miles per hour, but quickly fall off because of lack of wind resistance. Well, you also have to take into account the trajectory being affected by the wind, cross breezes, and such. It also says, Florida man makes food firing cannon. That is a very Florida man type thing to do. Like I'm no physicist. In fact, I'm awful at physics. but I'm sure it's doable. Okay, where are we at? 16 and a half minutes. Level 79. Well, we need to hit 100 to get the final achievement unlock. That is not going to be difficult. We will hit that without issue, I think. Theo says doable within like 100 yards. Yeah. Reasonable margin of error. Theo says I've run the math and theory, and believe me, it does not work well. It's more or less just a good conversation. I think it's a very good conversation. It is always a good idea to just talk through creative ideas, even if they're unrealistic or unfeasible. But I do blame you folks in the chat for making me hungry. But maybe we'll call this the last run of the evening, so I can go get some dinner. Now I gotta think of what kind of street tacos to get. The folks that are hanging out, what would you suggest for street taco types? What are your favorites? Tato says, I can only imagine things I could think of if I did cocaine. That might somewhat affect the things you can think of, but I think cocaine is definitely more of a stimulant in that you probably think of more things. If you want more creative ideas, then you'd probably want something like shrooms or weed. Not that I'm endorsing anybody take drugs. Don't do anything illegal, kids. This is speed. Yeah, you could do speed too if you're tired of sleeping. On the topic of street tacos, Sarlad said steak with green sauce. You're talking about like an asada with like a tomatillo salsa. One of my go-tos for street tacos is al pastor. A lot of the places I've been to make their own al pastor, which is like a marinated pork. I'm sure people have heard that. I think Sourlad's pretty well versed in Hispanic cuisine. But yeah, al pastor is good. I'll learn how to make that at some point. Sourlad said, I don't know, it's just the green sauce in the cups. Well, if it's green, it's either going to be some sort of chili or tomatillo based. What I really wish we had in my area is a place that sells El Salvadoran food. I haven't had pupusas in forever, and that was one of my favorite things to get when we go out for work lunches. And now, I don't even know where the nearest El Salvadoran joint is around here. They're not super common. But pupusas are delicious. Okay, 19 minutes. Teo says, kind of late. No bed yet, but back to Netflix and messing around in Arma 3. Have a good night. Enjoy your future food. All right, Potato. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us today, and for bringing your creative ideas. It's a very good conversation, which I do appreciate. So, I hope you have a good rest of your evening, and I will catch you next time. We'll be wrapping up after this run, assuming I don't just flat out die here as it starts to pick up in the last 10.5 minutes. picked up the final upgrade for Torona's box, which has got me at 232% curse. That's a lot of curse. The question is the DPS going to be enough? If I can get the Laurel and Lancet fully upgraded, then that should give me enough resistance to damage. And it will also cut the HP of everything coming in, and that should lock in the run. If I get overwhelmed before that, then this run is going to end very soon. And it is getting very dense. We're coming up in 21 minutes. So we'll get our final Arcana. 257 curse. Get all the furniture. It's just a circle pit of furniture bouncing back and forth. That's ridiculous. But that's how they do in Vampire Survivors. Let's see, I'm going to up everything except curse just to be safe. We get down to the last 9 minutes. Sorry, lads, you can make your own pupusas. I know. I don't know how. I have to look up a recipe. I can't do Hispanic cooking at all. It is definitely not my background. I'm much better at Asian or Italian cooking. But to me, the filling would be the most challenging part, because the dough is just masa. You can get that at most grocery stores. That's not hard. But getting the filling, I think, would be a bigger challenge. I don't know. Maybe one day if I'm feeling really ambitious. Alright, we got tanky flowers. Rings upgraded? Okay, we just need to get 3 more levels on the last Metaglio, and then try and grab our final 2 evolves. Or technically there's 3. We can evolve the sword too. There it is. Okay, we got the Crimson Shroud. Now we need the Infinite Corridor. Okay, there's Soul Solution. There's the Corridor. And that we are fully upgraded. Alright, it's gonna max out Skull. And we got everything. So let's say you just need to learn how to prepare the side ingredient to mix with the cheese. Yeah, I think you could probably use a standard carne asada recipe. The joint we used to go to had a really good pork, like a simmered adobo pork filling mixed with cheese that they use for their pupusas. That was my favorite. Not really flavored like al pastor. It was different. It was called adobo pork, and it was kind of similar to like a simmered Filipino adobo pork. It was good. Where's Boogaloo of Illusions? There it is. range up at fixed intervals, and now we go random. That, we see if we have built our character well enough to withstand the rest of the mobs. Do you know how to make pupusas, Sour Lad? I don't know if I've ever asked you that before. But you obviously know what they are. Do you know how to make them? Oh wow, that's really bright. I'm not gonna look. I'm gonna try not to look directly at that. It's soul solution procking. That's what's causing all those sparkles. Ah, sorry. Let's say I know how to make them. What's your favorite filling? Maybe I have asked you this before. I can't remember. I have a bad memory. But what's your preferred filling type for pupusas then? Also, if you know a recipe, a good recipe for making them that you've tested and used, by all means, feel free to send it to me on Discord. I would trust the recipe of someone who knows how to actually make them, as opposed to, you know, something I see on a website. Ah, so it says beans or chorizo. I got you. Beans and cheese was also pretty good. The place we would go to for pupusas would do like asada and cheese, shredded chicken and cheese, that adobo pork and cheese, beans and cheese. He had a squash one too, which I never tried if you wanted vegetarian. And there's like a diced squash and cheese. I should see if my uncle wants to try and make that when he comes up. I have an uncle that lives in California that's going to be coming up here to visit in the fall, and he's a former chef. He was trained at Benihana. He does a lot of cooking, and he actually knows how to make a lot of Hispanic food, probably because he lives in California. And so he's got a lot of good recipes. I should see if he wants to try and make pupusas. He'd be down to try that, I think. He made a really good mix of tamales and mole sauce last time he was here. Sarlat says, have you tried the coleslaw or tomato sauce? You mean for El Salvadoran food, like curtido? The sliced cabbage slaw? Yeah, that's good. It's pickled cabbage, essentially. The tomato sauce, I'm not a big fan of, interestingly enough. I like using salsas, like spicy salsas on my pupusas. Vice the red sauce. But I've tried it. It's okay, it's just not my favorite. But from what I've read, curtido is pretty easy to make. It's just really thinly sliced cabbage and I think a kind of vinegar and maybe a little bit of chili pepper. I'd have to look that up because those go together. You can't do pupusas without curtido. I don't know. I'll have to talk to my uncle about that when he comes to visit. If we end up doing that successfully, I'll report back to you folks and let you know if I was successful. And I'm always down to experiment with cooking. Okay, 27 minutes. The waves are coming in hot. Ooh. and that's definitely chugging the frame rate. But I think we can squeak it out. Just have to be careful. Stat-wise, 154% luck, 99% growth, 114% greed, 324% curse at 152. That's not bad. I think it's all coming down to that Wicked Season Arcana. That really does change the flow of the game. But now we just need to park and be careful. So that said, cabbage, carrots, jalapenos, and vinegar for Gatito. The ones that used to be served at the El Salvadoran joint we used to go for lunch had like chili pepper flakes in it, so I had a bit of kick. A little bit spicy, not noticeably hot, at least not for me. Some of my coworkers definitely couldn't deal with any sort of heat, and they couldn't eat that. But yeah, it's tangy. Got a little bit of a crunch to it. It's a perfect garnish to go with cheese and meat stuffed food. I don't know if we consider a pupusa. Is it a pastry? It's not baked. I like to think of it like a kind of like a stuffed, it's almost like a dumpling, I guess, like a flat stuffed dumpling. I don't know. Yeah, ask a El Salvadoran person, I suppose. I don't know any. Otherwise, I'd ask them. Wow, look at the size of those projectiles. That is visibly chugging on the frame rate. But we are 45 seconds away. I think we'll be fine for this run. It was close. Especially since we have a pretty non-standard build. But I think we'll be okay. And we'll get that final reroll unlock. No, that's Boogaloo of Illusion proccing. That's why everything is so big. Charlotte said, if you're lazy, you could just buy bean paste and mix it with your cheese. I would probably do scratch. It's just refried beans normally in the beans and cheese ones, right? If I'm gonna go through the process of making pupusas, I'm gonna do the beans from scratch. That's not terribly hard. Oh, look at all the furniture on the screen. That looks great. Okay, now we just wait for the sweet embrace of death. So like I said, I like making my own bean sauce. Yeah, I could see that. What's your favorite bean type, Sour Lad? I like black beans, so if I was gonna do like a bean mix, I'd probably do refried black beans. I don't know if that's standard. Again, I know nothing about Hispanic cooking, but I'm down to learn. All right. Got our final reroll. So we hit 31 minutes. Level 253 that's a pretty good level. Didn't get much gold because we didn't build for gold run. 12,000 is pretty meh. But not bad. So with that, we have unlocked 132 of 132. This is currently everything unlockable in Vampire Survivors as of right now. And Sarlat said black bean always. I agree. That is my favorite type of bean. Pinto beans are alright too. You can do refried beans with that, but yeah, I like the texture of black beans. Alright, collection is done. Character unlock list is done. I think this is every base and secret character unlocked in the game as of right now. I think I'm going to take a break from streaming Vampire Survivors. I'm obviously going to keep playing the game and grinding, but I'm going to probably hold off on streaming this until there's a major update. Either a big enough content update that I feel like I can showcase here on stream for you folks, or if the game officially launches and they add a bunch of stuff for the 1.0 release. In the meantime, I will think of a potential other series for us to start playing. I've got some ideas for things. We are still going to be streaming Monster Hunter every once in a while. We'll be streaming Hollow Cure every once in a while. And obviously the big long play right now is Breath of Fire 2. I might try and work another series, and we'll see. I'll have to think about it. I've got some content ideas coming up. And Saralad asks, have you tried tortas? It's a Mexican sandwich. I've seen them on the menus, but I've never had one that I can remember. In fact, I think that the joint that I'm probably going to go to in a little bit here does sell them. I just have my go-tos every time, so I have not tried them. They sound good. What time does this place close? 8? Alright, I better hurry up and get my order in then. It's already 7 o'clock. As much as I'd like to talk about food, it's just going to make me more and more hungry. So let's take a look at who's online that I know. I might try and find somebody new this time, especially if I can find a VTuber that's playing Vampire Survivors and spread the love. Let's see. I see Banani, Bean. The regular crew of people are online. Let me go look on Twitch and see if I can find someone who's playing Vampire Survivors. Let's see. Here's someone. Teresa Tessa Queen. Here we go. I don't know this person, but this is a VTuber playing Vampire Survivors. So we will go and raid this person and see what's up. Sarah says, go eat dinner. And Sarah says, my friend Din VT is online. They're also playing Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Okay, we'll keep that in mind for the future. In the meantime, again, I kind of want to be on topic this time, so we'll go and try and raid Teresa Tessa Queen. So let me pause the BGM, and we will go ahead. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Thank you, VTube Studio. Very cool. Now I gotta fix my model. Come on. There we go. All right. So we go to outro. I'll leave that. Alright, we'll call that a stream. Thanks again, folks, for hanging out today and watching me tank my bit rate. We will be back this weekend. I think I'm doing a drawing stream Sunday. Though, until then, once again, thanks for chilling and vibing today. And I'll catch you in the next stream. Have yourselves a good evening. Now let us commence the raid.